For WLCSports.com, this is Adam Heinzen, joined alongside first-year Warriors men's and women's track and field coach Shelby Shaw as we get a season update and preview the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Track and Field Championships coming up Saturday in Kenosha. First, Coach, you took over the team last August after a year and a half or two as a graduate assistant. How has the transition been in your first season as head coach of the Warriors?
It's been a really great transition. I think having experience with the team and kind of that dynamic already has successfully transitioned me into being head coach.
Great. Your indoor season began just after the new year, your first meet on January 17th. Why don't you take us through a typical day of training during the indoor season and how it differs compared to the outdoor season?
Well, indoor we're a little bit more limited with the amount of practicing that we can do. We do have our jumps pits and our mats upstairs, but it kind of limits us where we can't use our spikes. But indoors we can go over to a 300-meter track and train on that, so we're very lucky with what the resources that we have.
As mentioned, the first meet of the season, January 17th, you began the indoor season, and your most recent meet a week ago at the Panther Tune-Up. Between those 5 meets that the teams competed in so far, how have you seen progression? What have you liked so far from the first meet up until now?
We've seen a lot of dropping of the time and a lot further distances. I think we've been progressing very nicely. It's been kind of one of those things where each week we use it as a building stone for the next, and we're excited because last week at the Panther Tune-Up, we showed great things, 2 school records. Can't really ask for much more than that, and going strong into the conference championships.
Let's dive deeper into your teams. You have 7 seniors on the women's side, 6 on the men's side. Give us an update on the team so far. What have you liked so far? And then maybe talk about some of the newcomers and what you've seen from them.
Our seniors are a great foundation for the team. They kind of came in and set the tone. They have high expectations, and I am fully confident that they can get there. You have Jenny and Mike, who are kind of the pseudo leaders of both the men's and women's teams, and they're looking stronger than ever. We're hoping that Mike can go under 7 this weekend, and we're hoping that Jenny can go out there and use that multi-background to score in multiple events. And then you have Amanda Fryer, who's coming back from injuries, who is looking really good in the hurdles and kind of using all of that momentum that we have from the seniors to repel those newcomers. So some of the newcomers to keep an eye on are Kate and Jared. They're our sprinters, and they haven't had much practice this year with injuries, but I think that this weekend we're finally healthy and we can show the conference who these newcomers are.
As a team, have you set any goals, or what are your expectations going into your first championships as head coach, the first kicking off the championship part of the indoor season, which isn't very long? You have a couple last chance events after this weekend before the season culminates, but what have you talked to the team about going into this weekend? What's their focus, and what are your expectations and goals that you've set?
I think the team knows that we're a much stronger team outdoors. Just with how you just said how short our indoor season is, we're using this as kind of that diving board to project us into the outdoor season. But I have high goals. Each person knows that if they're not close to a season PR, then they're underneath it. And that's kind of what we're going. We're chasing those PRs, we're chasing those indoor records, and we want to show the conference who WLC is.
And you kind of touched on it earlier, but let's start with the men. We'll go men first, women second. Some of the athletes that you're expecting bigger things from this weekend.
Well, you have your repeat. We're hoping that Chase Robles can come back in the distance events and kind of showcase what he did all of cross-country season. And in the same breath, you can say Julie Favorite. Same thing in the distance events, kind of getting back into track shape. She took a couple of seasons off of track, but we're looking forward to seeing her back and competing. And then, like I mentioned before, Jenny Abling, Amanda Fryer, looking at Mike Reeves, kind of that sprint crew as a whole. And then in the throws, Andrew Stumpner is going to make a splash. So.
Great. We look forward to seeing what the Warriors can do this weekend. Again, the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Championships, indoor track and field on Saturday at the Petretti Fieldhouse in Kenosha. Field events 11 o'clock, running events noon. You can check results on WLCSports.com on Saturday and keep updated with the track and field programs all season long. Coach, thanks for joining me today, and best of luck to you and the teams this weekend.
Thank you.